Yeah, a lot of people even talk about like living in a simulation, and people like Elon Musk is talking about, oh, there is a chance that we
Oh,
can.
I got the chills.
But okay, so what do you think is stood with you all these years
With
about
that movie,
yeah with that movie? What is the thing about the movie that you think stays with you?
every time I watch it, I kind of get new things from it, but it is interesting how we are living with AI now.
Yeah,
And when it came out, it was all sci-fi, and we were like, because there wasn't AI back then, right?
no,
And
no,
it's fairly new, right?
yeah.
Well, I always figure
But
like,
there were movies like Terminator 2 and things like that that, had this idea of like there's gonna be an evil AI in the future that's gonna exterminate the human race.
yeah, but this makes the most sense. That AI would become so sentient and then just like slowly take over, and then they, so it is in the movie, don't they like the human race to fight back, like they don't blow up the sun, but they like
Right.
they cover it so that they can't get the sun energy, and then I could see AI just like using,
Just doing that.
yeah.
Okay.
But now right now it's like we're okay now. They're just making movies, and
Yeah. I think we're
the
good
AI's
for now.
the AI's
They,
just
they
making
just do
movies
the work for us.
and paintings.
Right.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I think when it came out, I love the visuals. I think it was so cool. This idea of that bullet time, that freeze frame where like you can move inside, like the
So
camera can
cool.
still move. I thought it was beautiful and never seen before. There were like you said, like there were layers that I saw it. It was my first year in college, so a little older than you, but still a lot of things like went over my head. It was just recently watching it and knowing a little bit about the directors that they said that this was a metaphor for identity, gender identity, which it kind of like went over my head. Was something that you
You learned that in college?
no, I learned that like I'm gonna say like listening to the directors talking about it today.
Yeah, I didn't
You,
know if they, because I know they recently said that.
they yeah recently said that
I've
and
seen all
then
four of them.
and then I rewatched the movie and it was like yeah, there's all those elements in there that I didn't realize they were there when I was when I was a teenager.
Yeah, there's so much metaphor.
Yeah.
I mean, even like we talked about with Bad Friends. But yeah, I think like yeah, I never picked up on that at the beginning, but there is a certain aspect of like not gender identity, but just who you identify as and who people perceive you as.
Yeah.
Like I never thought I could be in front of the camera. You know, I always kind of was so shy and like scared to perform, and it took a long time, but you
Yeah.
know, now I'm doing it, and it's all those kind of lessons. Like you have to believe in yourself, and I think when they plug in and stuff, and he goes, I know kung fu and like all that stuff. We do have a lot of resources on our phones now.
Yeah.
Like we can use these machines. As I'm nerding out now,
Right.
but we can use like all of the resources we do have with the internet to like help us learn faster.
Yeah.
And
Oh, definitely. Like very, very interesting how all of that, was so no way, and now you have all that information you have in your phone. It's not plugged into your head yet,
but it could be.
but
It very well could be. And also Neo, it's like he's the one, but he has a whole team of people helping him.
yeah,
And I think that's like, I know I relate to that too. Like you have all the people who kind of tell you like,
yeah. Who's your
like
Morpheus?
I think Bobby's my Morpheus.
Yeah,
I had a feeling you were gonna ask me that
yeah,
because I was working at the store and Bobby would just kind of like, well, he actually might be my Trinity, not in that way, but like
yeah. Like
he's kind of like one of those people who broke me out because he was like would talk to me and then he would kind of he asked me to do Bad Friends at one point. That's why I think he's my Morpheus, because the scene where they're on the phone and he's like, you got to get out now, and it doesn't work.
yeah,
The first time he asked me to do Bad Friends, I couldn't do it.
yeah. A couple times.
No, it's just one time. Well, then after I joined, yeah, there were a couple times I couldn't do it, but the first time it kind of felt like that. I was in Austin, and it did feel like this will save my life. Like, this will be a huge step for me,
Right.
and I can't do it, and then I was like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but
But then it did happen again.
right. And I did. Did you meet Bobby at the comedy store, or how do you meet? How do you meet Bobby?
Yeah, at the Comedy Store.
Right, and he saw you and just approached you, say, "Hey, you're funny," or
He does it. He goes around. He talks to all the door guys. I think because he used to be a door guy, and he likes to
yeah,
he likes to kind of test people. I think and have conversations with them and see like who can roll with stuff and yeah, he still does it now. It's kind of cool now
Yeah.
that I'm like I've gotten so much from the whole family, you know, and I can see him now talking to new door guys, and it's just like
yeah,
that's why I think maybe I'm more like Trinity, and he's still we're still looking for our Neo, you know.
yeah. Cool. I okay. I want to know a little bit about your origin story, and I know you are from Arizona. I read that you said like, well, you have a stage fright, that high school or junior high was hell.
You read that?
Yeah.
Where'd you read that?
I have
My diary.
Yeah, exactly. I got your diary. So, how was tell me a little bit how was your upbringing and why was difficult, I guess, or why do you feel like growing up was hell?
Well, junior high was hell because of puberty, mostly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and like, but I had a really fun childhood because my parents, not because they were divorced, but that since they were divorced, I'd see my dad like every other weekend, and because I think of that, which is every other weekend, just twice a month.
Right.
But it sounds a little nicer, I think. But he would really make those weekends special, so we'd go to the zoo, or we'd go to like the Highland Games, which is like a Scottish festival. Like we'd always go to like these festivals in town, and so that was always fun. And then at my mom's house, it was just my mom and sister and I, and she's a single mom working, and we kind of just were wild in that house, and it was really fun. We didn't have a lot of rules.
Yeah.
And so,
Was your sister better at school than you?
my sister is 6 years older than me, and she's really smart and just one of those people who could take up any skill really fast. So she like
Maybe she has a hack, like
yeah,
like
I
Neo.
think she might have.
Yeah,
You think so?
maybe.
Yeah, she will she like did some art classes and then would just be amazing at it, and then picked up music and amazing in music, and she can just pick up skills really fast. But in junior high, I remember we had this thing called the red page, which is in our planner, and you have to get a stamp in every class, and if you miss one, they tear out your red page. And if you don't have your red page, you can't go to the end of the year pool party. And then I went to PE class one day, and I started my period for the first time. Can I say that on here? Period?
I think so.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. And so I was in swim class. So I go to my gym teacher, and I'm like freaking out, and I'm like,
Right.
I can't swim. And she goes, well, you should have had a note. I was like, well, I didn't know it was going to happen. And she tore out my red page. And then I got detention. And then I also couldn't go to the end of the year party. And on top of everything, I started my period. So it's like the worst day of my life.
Interesting. I mean, I hope like those things have changed. I imagine they might.
Well,
Like, because those are the things, like when I remember when I was in junior high, like there was no girl who would talk about these things, like everybody was like, it was very private, embarrassing. And therefore, like, I don't know, and everybody hides it, so it's not part of real life. It's
no.
kind of those things,
That's what I knew I wasn't in the Matrix.
Right,
I was like,
right.
this is real. And
right.
my sister found out, and she was in high school. And one day she skipped school and came to my junior high and talked to the principal. And I got called to the principal's office, and they told me they were really sorry about what happened, and they gave me back my red page.
Right. Wow.
And so my sister is just awesome in that way. And
Yeah. Maybe your favorite movie should be Carrie. I don't
No, it wasn't like that.
You're right.
The teacher's like throwing tampons at me.